Dawa was a young monk who lived in a monastery in the Himalayas. He had been orphaned when he was a baby, and the monks had taken him in and raised him as their own. He loved the monastery, where he learned to read, write, meditate, and chant. He had many friends among the other monks, and he was happy and content. But Dawa had a secret longing in his heart. He wanted to know who his mother was, and why she had left him. He wondered if she was still alive, and if she ever thought of him. He wished he could see her face, hear her voice, and feel her hug. He felt a deep sadness that he could not share with anyone. One day, a group of pilgrims came to the monastery. They had traveled from far away, seeking blessings and teachings from the monks. Among them was a woman who looked very familiar to Dawa. She had the same eyes, nose, and mouth as him. She also had a scar on her left cheek, just like him. Dawa felt a strange connection to her, and he followed her with his gaze. The woman noticed him, and she felt a shock in her heart. She recognized him as her son, whom she had given up when he was a baby. She had been a poor widow, and she could not afford to raise him. She had heard of the monastery, where they took care of orphans and taught them the Dharma. She had hoped that he would have a better life there. She had left him at the gate, with a note and a necklace that had belonged to his father. She had never forgotten him, and she had prayed for him every day. She wanted to talk to him, to tell him the truth, and to ask for his forgiveness. But she was afraid that he would hate her, or that the monks would not allow it. She decided to wait until the evening, when the monks would gather for prayers. She hoped that she would find a chance to speak to him then. That evening, Dawa was sitting in the prayer hall, chanting with the other monks. He saw the woman enter, and he felt a surge of emotion. He wanted to go to her, to ask her who she was, and why she looked so much like him. But he was afraid that he would be scolded, or that she would reject him. He decided to wait until the prayers were over. He hoped that she would still be there then. But as he was chanting, he heard a loud scream. He turned and saw the woman collapsed on the floor. She had a heart attack, and she was dying. Dawa ran to her, and he held her in his arms. He saw the fear and pain in her eyes, and he felt a wave of compassion. He whispered to her, "Don't be afraid, I'm here. I'm your son, Dawa. I love you, mother, The woman heard him, and she felt a joy and peace that she had never felt before. She smiled at him, and she touched his face. She said to him, "I'm sorry, my son. I'm sorry for leaving you. I love you, Dawa. You are my miracle, She then closed her eyes, and she breathed her last. Dawa felt her go, and he cried. He cried for his mother, whom he had just met and lost. He cried for himself, who had just found and lost his family. He cried for all the suffering in the world, and he wished that it would end. The other monks came and comforted him. They told him that his mother had died with a pure mind, and that she would be reborn in a better place. They told him that he had done a great service to her, by giving her his love and forgiveness. They told him that he was a true monk, who had practiced the Dharma with his heart. Dawa thanked them, and he accepted their words. He felt a calm and a strength that he had never felt before. He realized that his mother had given him a precious gift, the gift of knowing who he was, and where he came from. He realized that he had also given her a precious gift, the gift of knowing that he was happy, and that he loved her. He realized that they had both fulfilled their karmic connection, and that they would meet again in another life. He then took the necklace that his mother had left him, and he put it around his neck. He felt a warm and happy sensation that he had never felt before. He decided to keep the necklace as a reminder of his mother, and to dedicate his life to Buddhism. He became a hardworking and respectful monk, who still loved to eat, sleep, and play, but also learned to study, meditate, and work.